I mean, I'd put him a little behind Ben. I'd put him ahead of Eli from the guys he was drafted with. I think he's a tier below Breeze and those guys, but I think he is an easy Hall of Famer.
But he's had a lot of weapons, a lot of LT, a lot of guys over the years where you would have thought they would have been able to get to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl. That's the basis of me saying that. And maybe
that's what I
that's
figured.
right.
Is because he has had some talent, even Vincent Jackson and Gase, and they got a lot around him now. But where I was going to go is I think his organization doesn't do him a lot of favors. They're not, as I mentioned before, they're frugal. They've over
Now give me an example when you say that. Are you talking about
remember how they handled the Bosa situation? He sits out fighting over a little bit of something. I mean, they're not super aggressive to surround Rivers with everything he needs. And then what I mean by that is his line has really been poor. I can't believe they didn't help his protection more this year. But a small little note like on the Chargers, and again, this doesn't sound like it's much, but over Phillip Rivers' career, they have almost always been the bottom of the league in special teams. They're horrible. They're always looking for kickers. They get big plays against them. Things like that.
But does that cross over when you're talking about general managers, you're talking about front office?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're going to have different guys over the years. Are you saying that has spanned, more than one GM?
Yeah, pretty much the majority of Rivers' career.
Just really bad hires.
Yeah, right. They just haven't addressed that or hasn't been as much a priority for them. I can see what you're saying. I mean, I think if I'm a Rivers doubter, I would say, hey, when have you won the big one? I mean, come put the team on your back, go to Foxborough and win one. You know what I mean? And I think there is something to be said for that. But I also think he's part of the victim of, boy, the Patriots are just such an avalanche, such a juggernaut. Yeah. Would the Chargers, the Steelers, the Broncos, the Ravens gotten another Super Bowl if it wasn't for Jordan being in your conference?
Well, yeah, right. And but it reminds me of the conversation we're having about Rivers. And again, I'm an old guy. It reminds me of the conversation that once upon a time was being talked about with John Elway and with Peyton Manning. Both of them. And maybe Phil Rivers will be in a situation that I don't know if it's going to be with the Chargers. Doesn't sound like it's going to be with the Chargers. Maybe something will happen this year, the next couple of years.